Imagine this. You wake up one morning, the sun is shining through your curtains, and you realize you've hit a milestone that once felt impossibly far away. You're 60, maybe 65 or even 70, and after a lifetime of love and heartbreak, family and friendships, you find yourself thinking about something you never thought you'd revisit: dating. The idea can feel both thrilling and terrifying. You might hear that little voice in your head saying, "Am I really going to start dating again at this age?" But let me tell you something right now. Love doesn't retire. Romance doesn't have an expiration date. And companionship, the kind that warms your soul and makes you laugh out loud, is as vital at 60 as it was when you were 16. If you're curious about what dating after 60 looks like in today's modern world, grab a cup of tea or maybe a glass of wine, because we're going to take a journey together. This isn't a list of rigid rules or some dusty guide from decades past. This is a living, breathing conversation about finding love and companionship in the age of smartphones, social media, and unexpected possibilities. First, let's clear away one big myth, that dating is only for the young. I have met people in their 60s and 70s who are living proof that attraction and excitement don't fade with age. Think about someone like Eleanor, a vibrant 68-year-old grandmother of 3. She lost her husband 10 years ago and spent a long time focusing on her kids and her garden. One day, her neighbor convinced her to try an online dating app. Yes, a dating app. At first, she laughed it off. "That's for 20-somethings, she said. But eventually she downloaded one, uploaded a picture of herself with her favorite sun hat, and wrote a bio that simply said, "Lover of jazz, late-night talks, and strong coffee." Within a week, she'd met Robert, a retired music teacher with the same love for old vinyl records. Their first date? A small jazz club downtown. Today, they dance in the kitchen every Sunday morning. Love after 60 is not a fantasy. It's real, and it can be beautiful. Dating after 60 is different, of course, because you're different. By now, you know yourself. You've had a lifetime of experiences, careers, perhaps marriages, raising children, traveling, caring for parents, facing losses, and celebrating victories. All of that wisdom becomes your greatest asset. You no longer have to impress anyone with who you might be someday. You get to show up as who you are today. That's incredibly freeing. When you sit across from someone at a cafe or chat on a video call, you can speak from a place of confidence. You can say, "Here's what I love, here's what I value, here's how I want to spend my time." That honesty is magnetic. But let's talk about the practical side of modern dating, because it's not all candlelight and poetry. Today's dating landscape includes apps, websites, and virtual meetups. Some people find that intimidating, but I promise it can be easier than you think. Whether you choose a platform designed for seniors or a more general app, the key is to be authentic. Use recent photos that show your true self, laugh lines and all. Write a profile that sounds like you. Don't worry about crafting a perfect pitch. Just share what makes you happy. Hiking, painting, volunteering, cooking, playing pickleball, or reading mystery novels. Those details become conversation starters and help you connect with people who share your interests. Safety matters too. Before meeting anyone in person, have a video chat. Meet in public places. Let a friend or family member know where you'll be. These aren't rules to make you nervous. They're just common sense steps to keep you comfortable. Remember, you've spent decades developing instincts. Trust them. If something feels off, it probably is. Now let's get real about emotions. Dating after 60 often comes with a unique mix of excitement and vulnerability. Maybe you've lost a spouse or gone through a difficult divorce. Maybe you're afraid of being hurt again. Those feelings are normal. Give yourself permission to feel them, but don't let them stop you from exploring. Love isn't about replacing anyone you've lost or rewriting your past. It's about opening your heart to new companionship, laughter, and intimacy in the present. And intimacy absolutely belongs in your life if you want it to. One of the most refreshing parts of dating later in life is that there's no need for games. You can talk openly about what you're looking for, whether it's a committed partnership, a travel companion, or simply someone to share dinners and deep conversations. You might be surprised by how many people your age and older are looking for exactly the same thing. Consider the story of Miguel, a 72-year-old retired firefighter. After losing his wife, he spent years alone, convinced that chapter of life was closed. Then his daughter signed him up for a community cooking class. There he met Diane, a widow who shared his love of spicy food and travel. They started as friends, trading recipes and laughing over burnt paella. Friendship grew into love naturally, without pressure. Today they travel the world together, often sending postcards to their grown children from places they never dreamed they'd visit. Their secret? They stayed open, took things slow, and valued companionship as much as romance. Modern dating isn't limited to apps or classes. You can meet someone while volunteering, attending a book club, joining a hiking group, or even on a spontaneous trip. The key is to stay engaged with life. The more you pursue activities you love, the more likely you are to meet someone who shares your passions. Companionship often blooms when you're simply living fully. It's also worth acknowledging that companionship doesn't always mean marriage or even a traditional partnership. Some people in their 60s and 70s find joy in what we might call life partnerships without the paperwork, deep friendships that include travel, shared holidays, and emotional support, but not necessarily shared finances or a single household. There's no one right way to define love after 60. What matters is what feels fulfilling to you. Let's talk about family reactions because that can be tricky. Your adult children might have strong opinions. They may worry about your safety or about inheritance or simply struggle with seeing you with someone new. Approach those conversations with openness. Reassure them that you value their input, but also remind them gently that your happiness is your decision. Over time, most families come to see how positive a loving relationship can be for a parent or grandparent. And while we're on the subject of happiness, dating after 60 can bring a wonderful sense of playfulness back into your life. There's something exhilarating about getting dressed up for a dinner date, receiving a text that makes you smile, or holding someone's hand as you stroll through a park. Those small moments of connection light up your days. They remind you that romance is not about age. It's about energy and curiosity. Financial and practical considerations do play a role. Be upfront about your lifestyle, your goals, and your boundaries. Many people at this stage of life are independent and prefer to maintain separate finances. Having clear conversations early on avoids misunderstandings later. What if you've been out of the dating scene for decades and feel nervous? Start small. Practice chatting with strangers at the grocery store or coffee shop. Relearn the art of conversation without pressure. When you do decide to meet someone for a date, choose a setting that feels comfortable. A quiet cafe, a favorite museum, a scenic park. Remember, a first date is just a conversation. You're exploring whether you enjoy each other's company, not signing a contract. As you continue this journey, celebrate the process. Every new interaction teaches you something about yourself. Even dates that don't lead to romance can lead to friendship or simply a great story to tell. Keep your heart open, your expectations realistic, and your sense of humor intact. The most beautiful part of dating after 60 is that it's rooted in choice. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone to share life's adventures with. That perspective changes everything. Instead of seeking validation, you're seeking connection. Instead of rushing, you can savor each moment. Think about how you want to feel with a partner. Do you crave laughter? Intellectual conversation? Shared hobbies? Quiet evenings, reading side by side? Visualize that and let it guide you. When you meet someone whose presence feels like a gentle yes, you'll know. And remember, companionship comes in many forms. For some, it's romance. For others, it's deep friendship. For many, it's a mix of both. What matters is that it enriches your life and brings joy. So if you've been wondering whether it's too late to find love or friendship, Let this be your invitation. Start where you are. Update that profile photo. Join that class. Say yes to that coffee date. Whether you meet someone next week or next year, the act of reaching out, of staying open, is itself a triumph. Dating after 60 isn't about reliving your youth. It's about embracing your present, your wisdom, your passions, your capacity for connection. It's about writing a new chapter that reflects the person you've become. And that chapter can be filled with laughter, adventure, tenderness, and yes, love. So go ahead, send that message. Smile at the stranger in the bookstore. Try the cooking class. Sign up for the dance workshop. Let life surprise you. Because love in all its forms is waiting, and it doesn't care how many candles were on your last birthday cake.